It started with a text message that I got through to my phone that said I had to immediately go into quarantine. And I was going to be in quarantine for 14 days. And this was an entirely different situation to being in lockdown, because in lockdown you can go out to exercise, you can go out to get food, but in quarantine it's essentially solitary confinement. You're a prisoner in your own home. You can't leave at all. And you know that if you do leave, there's severe consequences. There's fines up to and over $13,000.
Good morning, Queensland. We've just finished our daily COVID briefing with the Premier.
Do you have any issues here at all? Obviously having the quarantine to do.
We have 9 new confirmed cases, all of which were detected in the community.
You can't leave.
We haven't got any assistance, and on the contrary, when we did the right thing and ordered online delivery from Coles, it was never delivered.
We've had 57 penalty infringement notices issued.
Yes, I'm very, very concerned.
Taxi drivers have also been called in to deliver to residents. Those in quarantine urged to remain inside.
4 new COVID cases who've been out in the community, including one just discovered. Deputy Premier Stephen Miles said the city has to go hard and fast if they want to get this under control.
We need everybody to comply with those. We need everybody to adhere to those rules.
Well, we have 7 new cases.
You understand your quarantine duration, obviously, even if you get the negative test back on day 12 before it expires, you still have to...
There are a number of venues of concern, and that information will be supplied on the Queensland Health website. But
more than 10,000 people in home quarantine. They've been told even if lockdown lifts tomorrow, they'll have to stay put and complete their 14 days.
Think of suicide, domestic violence, drinking, anxiety, depression, all of Australia in panic and fear. All in the name of health and well-being, without ever conceding the damage done by lockdowns to personal health.
How do you prepare yourself mentally? You've got to do that yourself. You don't have time. You just find yourself in this predicament. Days. Section 333. Fines over $13,000. You've got to be joking. In the back of your mind, you're wondering what's going to happen next.
But that's from a previous cluster, not from this outbreak.
So we have implications for the
Well over 400 of our health workers now in quarantine.
Now, if there's been a particular instance, where we've got it wrong, I want to know about that, and we'll look into it in detail.
The worst part was there's no income. I had bugger all food in the cupboards. Bank balance was barely nothing. I had to educate myself. This was a lot more than about a virus, or it's more than about science. thought I was going to run out of food, and I thought one of two things. Either I was going to break quarantine and risk a $13,000 fine and public humiliation, or I was going to bite the bullet and deal with the demons in my mind. Everybody has fear. Some people handle it better than others. It was the feeling of you can't let yourself down, but you're not trained psychologically prepared to deal with this. We're not taught how to cope with complete isolation. The best way to deal with it was just to accept that this is the hand I'd been dealt. I hoped that the time would go quickly, but mostly it didn't. I don't think the authorities really understand what people are going through, their needs, their wants, their desires. I don't know how I survived. That I survived what was a tenuous experience, but reflecting, it's hard. Before I went into lockdown, I thought I could do just about anything. But after I came out, I lost a lot of that. So from this day until the next pandemic, I don't want to do this again. I did feel like time was starting to go a little bit faster, but I knew I had to keep myself occupied, and exercise was critical. It was a feeling of essentially like solitary confinement, and it tore me up. I had a lot of trouble dealing with the reality of my situation, and as each day went by, the more I plotted to break my quarantine, the more I knew this is something I just shouldn't do. It became like any physically enduring challenge. It was a mind game, and it was like there was a rubber band inside your mind which was tightly wound up, and whatever I did, I couldn't let that snap. I honestly felt like a monkey in a cage. You've got no people coming to visit you, you can't go anywhere. In the end, it was my turn to get tested. And I had to test negative, otherwise I'd be doing another 14 days. So this was my moment of truth. Head back, swab down the back of my throat, and up my nose. Gross. And finally, negative. Reflecting back on it, I don't know how I actually dealt with it. When I think about what I went through, they talk about on TV the people in lockdown being the lockdown legends, but the people in quarantine, they're entirely different. Those people are heroes. They make huge sacrifice for the community.
Crying so much to the poltergeist, trying to hold on to love, but it's frost and ice time. Much but a light from a falling sky, apply to the forces above us like keep holding on to this present time, inspired by the ones that were left behind us. We fell for the light of a foreign sky, applying to the forces above this life.